Hello and welcome to Gas Forward, the future of energy and wealth. I'm your host, Yerwang Shambo, and I'm thrilled to have you here for another bold, thought-provoking conversation. Today, we are diving into a topic that flips the script on everything we think we know about Africa's gas potential. The title of this episode today is Digital First, Infrastructure Later, Africa's surprising advantage in gas automation. And trust me, it's as disruptive as it sounds. What if Africa's biggest edge in the gas space isn't in building out physical infrastructure, but in leapfrogging straight into automation? Today, we are unpacking how digital innovation, from remote monitoring to smart pipelines, is rewriting the rules of engagement in gas, and why this shift could possibly position Africa ahead of the curve. Today's conversation is loaded with insights, bold thinking, and a fresh perspective of what it truly means to be gas forward in Africa. Our episode today is brought to you by our amazing partner, Radiant Money, because building wealth should be intentional, smart, and sustainable. Whether you're launching your first business, managing multiple income streams, or planning, for long-term growth, Radiant Money gives you the tools and support to make smarter financial decisions. They are not just about numbers, they are about empowering your financial journey. Massive thanks to Radiant Money for supporting bold conversations that matter. So, today, our guest is a true global business leader whose career spans continents, industries, and disciplines. A guest joining us for the very first time and all the way from Poland, Mr. Sami Farouni. Mr. Sami brings over 23 years of international experience in sales, marketing, and strategic partnerships, with an impressive track record in LPG downstream operations, industrial automation, and brand communications. He currently serves as the head of sales for South Europe, the Middle East, and Africa at Data Technologies Europe, where he leads commercial expansion across some of the world's most dynamic and diverse markets. Mr. Sami, it's such a pleasure to have you here with us today on Doowe Gas Podcast Series. You're welcome, sir.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you, Ms. Yerwang, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's nice to have you. Well, that is just the beginning, actually. There's so much to Mr. Sami's journey. So let me take a moment to properly introduce Mr. Sami Farouni. Before becoming a key figure in gas tech and automation, Mr. Sami's career began in the fast-paced world in advertising, where he led major campaigns for global giants like McDonald's, Danone, and Coca-Cola, as well as top regional brands within the GCC countries. That early foundation in brand strategy gave him something special: the ability to connect deeply with markets, cultures, and people, a strength that continues to shape how he does business today. From transforming commercial operations at Saudi Arabia's leading LPG distributor to guiding European startups break up in Middle Eastern markets, and even lecturing MBA students across cultural businesses, Mr. Sami brings a powerful blend of strategic vision and on-the-ground execution. He's more than just a business builder. He's a market translator, a growth catalyst, and a trusted partner across technical and commercial spheres. So get ready. Today's conversation is going to be full of rich insights on digital transformation, global leadership, and how Africa can leverage its unique position to drive innovation in gas automation. Mr. Sami, I must truly say your journey is nothing short of inspiring. It's a blend of, bold leadership across, the industry, innovation, and real global impact. Once again, thank you for joining us today, Mr. Sami.
Thank you for your kind introduction, and thanks again for having me today. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. All right, so now let's dive straight into the heart of today's conversation. This is where we'll be unpacking, ideas, insights, and experiences that make today's topic truly come alive. So once again, Mr. Sami, are you ready to get into it?
Of course, let's go.
All right. Okay. So let's go. So Mr. Sami, let's begin right at the heart of today's episode. The title. What does digital first, infrastructure later mean in the context of Africa's gas industry?
Well, in my opinion, it means prioritizing smart, scalable digital solutions like remote monitoring, customer portals, and digital payment systems. That comes before investing in heavy infrastructure. In LP gas distribution, this could be as simple as starting with telemetry on tanks before even going into routes optimization systems. It's about being agile, learning from real-time data, and using it to shape the infrastructure investments based on actual customer behavior and demand.
That was very insightful. Thank you so much, Mr. Sami, for sharing that strong foundation to build on. So let's expand the lens, a little to compare with what's happening globally. Mr. Sami, you've worked across regions like MENA and Europe markets that are often considered more developed in terms of energy infrastructure and digital uptake. So how would you compare Africa's potential for gas automation with what you've seen in these, more mature markets?
In a way, Africa has a greater leapfrogging potential, while Europe and MENA, to a certain extent, have legacy systems that are either hard or costly to upgrade. Africa here can bypass outdated models. Um, with the rise of mobile connectivity, cloud-based platforms, African LPG business can build digital native operations that are both lean and customer-centric from day one.
Okay, nice. Thank you for, I think for me, it just shows that Africa is not like behind, it's just different and possibly, better position for, better opportunities out there. Thank you so much, Mr. Sami. So let's zoom in a bit on the unique edge African countries might actually have in all of this. Some say that Africa can skip the long road of traditional development and go straight to smarter tech driven models. So what unique opportunities do you see for African countries to leapfrog traditional gas infrastructure models using digital technologies?
For Africa, there is a real chance to create end-to-end digital ecosystems from telemetry-enabled tanks to digital ordering apps, mobile money integration, and so on. This approach eliminates inefficiencies and can bring LPG to underserved rural or peri-urban communities more quickly and cost effectively than traditional models. This also ensures the consumers do not experience runouts, as real-time monitoring and predictive delivery systems can proactively schedule refills before tanks are even empty.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sami. So let's bring it, closer to your direct experience now. In your time with GAS Co. I don't know if it's called Gasco. You were directly involved with digital systems like remote tank monitoring and IoT technology. So, from your experience, how has remote tank monitoring or IoT based technology transformed operational efficiency?
Well, I've little contributed to that, but it was among other projects that I held over there. First of all, I would like to mention that since the minute I landed in Saudi Arabia back in 2021, I was actually genuinely impressed by how advanced some sectors were in terms of digitalization. When I compare it to some parts of Europe, the country as a whole is heading in warp speed into the future. And this kind of progress in terms of digitalization clearly reflects visionary leadership. The telemetry has been a game changer in shifting distribution from, in the business, what we call it like the ad calls, so from reactive to proactive, enabling therefore real-time tank monitoring, predictive refills, and smarter logistics. This also has enhanced the customer experience, which is the primary focus of Gastos operations. And so with the automated alerts and integrated payments ensuring consistent fuel availability, or gas in that perspective. That was really amazing. So with the forward agile leadership of that establishment, embracing technologies like telemetry more fully can unlock even greater efficiencies and set the stage for long-term growth. So it also enhances customer experience with automated alert and integrated payments, ensuring consistent LPG availability. And this is the primary focus for that establishment. And thanks to the forward agile leadership of it, I think and I believe embracing technologies like telemetry more fully can unlock even greater efficiencies and set the stage for long-term growth. I wish them all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Sami. That was brilliant. So for companies just getting started, okay, let's talk about, priorities. What are the core digital tools or platforms you believe African gas startups could prioritize first before investing heavily in infrastructure?
I have probably a small advice. I would suggest that start with telemetry and fleet management, then move to customer engagement tools like through apps or SMS ordering, CRM systems, and mobile payments. These low investment tools can improve market traction, reduce operational blind spots, and help build a data-driven business case for future infrastructure.
Noted. I think you just basically said that digital doesn't have to be distant. It can be a starting point, and you've just made that very practical. Thank you so much, Mr. Sami. So, Mr. Sami, you've taught cultural diversity and market communications, which means you understand not just the tech but the people behind the systems. So, how important is local context when designing digital gas solutions for African communities?
Well, it's essential. A solution that works in Lagos may not work in rural Uganda. Understanding the local habits, mobile telecom penetration, literacy levels, trust factors, helping in tailoring the digital experience. Whether it is in the language used, payment methods accepted, or the type of customer support provided, all matters.
Thank you, Mr. Sami. You're right about what may work for another country may not work for one, and thank you for building on that. So now let's talk about some of the hurdles, the challenges, right? The idea of digital transformation sounds exciting, but on the ground it's not always smooth sailing. So in your experience, Mr. Sami, what are the main barriers to digital transformation in Africa's gas sector, and how do we begin to overcome them?
Barriers in connectivity gaps, cost sensitivity, behavioral inertia, and that remain key hurdles over there. Digital transformation does not have to wait for a perfect infrastructure, in my opinion. The focus should be on a scalable online and, where needed, offline capable technologies that can perform reliably in a low connectivity settings while still delivering actionable insights. In the LPG and liquid fuel sector, that means shifting from reactive to data-driven operations, tracking usage patterns, optimizing deliveries, enabling transition to a cleaner, more efficient energy. Demonstrating ROIs through targeted pilots and collaborating with local stakeholders is essential to build trust, address skepticism, and drive long-term adoption. Africa's real advantage lies in the ability to design digital systems that respond to its realities, not depend on the outdated infrastructure models.
That was incredibly honest and helpful. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Sami. So, speaking of roadmaps, let's, talk about the policy. So you've worked across, both public and private sector environments, and each one plays a major role in driving or delaying innovation. So how can policy either support or hinder digital gas innovation in Africa?
Actually, the supportive policies can incentivize data-driven operations, streamline import regulations for smart devices, subsidize technology adoption in critical areas. On the other hand, unclear or outdated regulations can stifle the innovation. So alignment between government and industry is key to making digital-first models viable. And I believe that each party has to have the initiative, keep the initiatives to keep constant dialogue. Dialogue is important, sharing in order to adapt policies or standards or even come up with new ones, all of it to serve the future, which is vital element to the market and population.
Thank you, Mr. Sami, for sharing that. We are actually halfway our interview session, and honestly, I must say you're doing amazingly well for your first time, for your first podcast. You're amazing. I must say that. Thank you so much. So let's bring it closer to the companies still trying to find their footing. So many African gas companies still operate manually, and for some, digital feels like a luxury and not a necessity. So for companies in this space, what's a realistic first step to begin their digital automation journey?
Well, my recommendation would be start small and focused. For example, introducing tank telemetry for key customer segments or implementing online, offline consumption tracking tools can deliver quick, measurable wins. These early successes build internal confidence, demonstrate ROIs, and help justify further investment. However, once a tool proves its value, my advice, do not wait. Move quickly to the next rollout phase. Acting while momentum is high supports more agile decision-making, sustains engagement, and accelerates meaningful results for both the company and the customer. The bigger the project, the greater the impact and the more visible the rewards are.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Sami. I think, sometimes, it's what we need is not, like a big leap, right? But a clear and a confident first step. Thank you for that. So let's shift toward the future now. Beyond hardware and systems, data is becoming one of the most powerful tools in the world. So looking ahead, what role do you see data analytics and AI playing in the future of gas delivery, especially in undeserved areas?
Data and artificial intelligence can optimize delivery scheduling, predict usage patterns, and detect leaks or tampering early and report them. Some of those features actually are already available in some top-notch solutions and web portals. So for underserved areas, AI can help forecast demand for hotspots, enabling companies to expand more strategically and minimize delivery cost while maximizing the impact.
That's very insightful. I think while you were speaking, I just got a question to ask since we were talking on data analytics and AI. I know that we have some of our young professionals in the industry, or like maybe, fresh graduates from the university that want to build a career in the energy space, in the oil and gas. And I think I'm going to ask this question I know that I finished school like years ago, I have a background in chemical engineering. So most times when people come out of school, they don't really know what they want to study for masters. I mean, many people, we've seen how, everyone is going into tech, AI, data analytics, or engineering, or different things, or fashion. So if you were to advise a young person, just fresh out of school, okay, what course you want to grow a career in, let's say the tech space, data analytics space, or I don't know, maybe the person is just confused and looking for guidance, mentorship. What advice will you actually give this young fresh graduate or this young professional in the industry on what to really study that will be relevant, that will last for like the next 10 to 20 years?
I would say adopt the future bender mentality. To that, adopt a digital first mindset from the outset, leveraging affordable, reliable technologies that combine quality, precision, cost effectiveness. Evaluate and scale solutions thoroughly while fostering cross-sector collaboration. This is very important between technology, energy, and telecom industries. Above all, keep the end user. This is very, very dear to my heart. So keep the end user central to the design to ensure accessibility, build trust, and drive sustainability or sustainable LPG adoption. That would be it.
That's nice. Thank you so much, Mr. Sami, for sharing that. So now, as we begin to wrap up this rich conversation, I would love to hear your final words of wisdom. What advice would you give to African entrepreneurs or government leaders who are trying to build scalable gas infrastructure for the next decade?
Well, as I said, take the mentality of a future vendor. Make the best for your marketplace, for your neighbors, friends, and families, the whole population. So you can do this through adopting the digital first mindset. Day one, look for the tools which are affordable, reliable, and offer a balance of quality, accuracy, and simplicity. Scale them with intention, build across sector collaboration, and again and again, design around the end user. So this is how you build the trust, drive the adoption, and make a clean, safe LP gas truly scalable across Africa.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sami. I think you're probably like the first guest that we've had that, answers his questions very precise, and you don't really take so much time. I mean, you just hit straight on the point. And that's, a perfect way to close. But before I let you go back to your daily activities, I would just love to ask you, what advice or what final words of wisdom, or like based on your experience, or anything you would like to share with us. I'm not going to ask you anything specific. I just want you to say anything you would like to tell us, anything you just like to share from the industry perspective, or personal, or anything you would love to share, Mr. Sami.
But to whom exactly?
To the audience,
Yeah.
to entrepreneurs, to gas startup companies, to young professionals in the industry, to everybody, literally, to the African continent, to the world.
I have probably just a couple of words. First, that believe that you have a lot of capabilities and resources, and it's not only about the resources; it's also about the human capabilities. Believe in yourself, and the future is yours. If it comes with for LPG is one of the cleanest sources of energy right now, and it's I think one of the easiest to scale. So in order, we live on this earth, and we leave it to our children and our grandchildren and so on. So we need to make sure that we adopt things that are sustainable, not only for us but for the generations to come. So using a clean energy like this can help a lot, and I wish everyone the best. Look forward.
Thank you, Mr. Sami. That was so powerful and very, a heartfelt conversation. That's just the perfect way to close. Vision rooted in reality, but charged with hope. Thank you so much for sharing your voice, your experience, and your heart with us today. Thank you for bringing your depth, your clarity, and global perspective to today's episode. I think you've challenged our thinking, inspired fresh ideas, and helped us to see what's possible when digital meets gas in Africa. And we are truly grateful, and we hope to have you back again sometime in the future. Thank you so much, Mr. Sami Farouni, for joining us today on our podcast.
Thank you very much for this nice interaction, and I look forward. I'm just one call away, so whenever there's other activities, I will be glad to join you again. And yeah, have a nice day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sami. Thank you. So we've come to the end of our episode today, and I just want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in, for watching, to all our amazing listeners and viewers. Thank you for tuning in to Gas Forward, the future of energy and wealth, powered by Doowe Gas. If today's episode sparked something in you, please do well to subscribe to Doowe Gas on YouTube, follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram, and also if you want to know more about Doowe Gas, visit www.doowe.ng and learn more about us, and also partner with us. If you would like to be a guest, if you would like to share on any topic in the industry, please send us an email to doowegas@gmail.com. So thank you everyone once again for watching. Until next time, let's keep learning, let's keep building, and keep pushing energy forward. I'm Yerwang, Shambo, and this is Gas Forward. See you in the next episode. Thank you.